The stock market is a game of patience and perseverance. Those who never give up will ultimately succeed. Tony Robbins. My friends, each and every day we ask you to devote 10 to 15 minutes. Not 4 hours on a Sunday, not 3 hours a day, but 10 to 15 minutes. But it has to be each and every day because that consistency, that perseverance, and that patience that it instills, as Tony Robbins talks about, is what you need in order to succeed. Stick with it each and every day. Learn the nuances. You can do this. Let's talk about where the markets are today. Stocks are up. The S&P 500 up 1.53%. Doji last week with lots of energy. That is lots of volume showing you that indeed there was a great deal of indecision. How does today start off? Well, we see that it is up for the day after huge Heikin Ashi down candles slamming through that prior weekly trend line. And we do have some up movement for the day, but again, lots of indecision on the Heikin Ashi candlesticks. We can see on the 2-day chart, first day of the latest 2-day candle, not up to average volume, not up to halfway toward the average volume, rather, way lower than that prior huge volume spike sitting right there on the weekly trend line, right below it on the weekly, below it on the 2-day. So we'll continue to watch. I'm not surprised that it swung back up today, but I wouldn't be surprised that as the week goes along, it might move back down. We'll keep our eye on things as the week continues to move ahead. Look at the NASDAQ 100, the tech stocks. It is also starting the week off below the weekly trend line. Lots of volume last week. Starting this week off, we're about average. It looks like halfway toward what will end up being potentially average volume. We're sitting right there again on the weekly trend line. Below it on the half day. See lots of indecision in the morning. Moving up in the afternoon, not quite average volume. Lots of volume in the morning, but not quite average volume in the afternoon. So we'll keep an eye. Up 2.12%. So again, large down moves on Friday and then recorrections or attempted recorrections on Monday. So we will keep an eye. We're still showing some inherent weakness. And again, for those of you who are who are not subscribers, you can subscribe for free at chartingwealth.com and get our daily emails with training each and every day, and also, of course, with a connection to this video. But if you are a Patreon supporter, I want you to take a look at the trade execution summary grid. And again, we don't just go by the numbers. We go by our experience and we go by what we are seeing on the chart. But the numbers can be helpful, and I'd like you to take a look at those conflicting numbers. So again, take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Let's take a look at 20-year U.S. government bonds, down just barely for the day, 0.06%. We can see where things spiked up as stocks spiked down on Friday, and then opening lower than the prior close, moving up some, but not much, 0.06%. You can see first day on the latest 2-day candle not reaching the prior high. And you can see here the prior high last week was 90.72, 90.51. So not too far away is a green up candle. We are going into our third week of green up candles. So we will keep an eye on bonds, even though it's down just barely for today, pretty much flat. We'll see where things tend to go. But look at gold. Gosh, we've been long gold for a while, haven't we? And it just keeps up 2.43%. What the heck is going on? Amazing. If you jumped into gold here, you gotten in the worst time that first week. High of 318.09, 378.86. Man, in just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going into the 8th week, just a booming. Gold it's just amazing. We watched for weeks as it it was agonizing watching it just slide sideways, up, down, sideways, up a little, down a little. And then, man, starting in late August, early September, for the last several weeks, just a booming. Today alone, 2.43%. Wow. What do we see with Bitcoin? Bitcoin down not a whole lot today, 0.67%, but you can see where we've crushed through that prior weekly trend line. Below it starting the week off, 2-day pushing down hard below it. We can see where the wick on Friday pushed below, but the first candle on Monday hammering down with all that volume. Not quite as far down in the afternoon, but again, 0.67%. Bitcoin lost its luster. So we will keep an eye on things as this week proceeds. Fascinating to watch where stocks are going to go. What are bonds up to? Are they going to continue to recover or just sort of slack off? Gold, will it continue to hammer up? And Bitcoin, will it slow that push down or will it continue? That is where we are, my friends. That is what we'll be watching for. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.